Greetings, mortals. I am Natus, the ruler of the underworld, and today we will be reacting to the newest chapter of Four Nights of the Apocalypse, chapter 111, titled Me Today, Over Me Yesterday. Kinda surprised they named this chapter this way. I kinda feel like this would make more sense for the next chapter, or at the very least, a chapter where we see a contrast between the strengths today and then weaknesses tomorrow. But I guess there is some progression on the characters' parts and their skill sets and all that. But still, I feel it's a bit more lackluster. But yeah. Anyways, we also have this time's cover page is actually also colored, so we get to see the characters generally, and also probably to get some more color schemes for the characters a bit more. And I think they changed again, but we'll see if they remained. Again, I feel like we're going to change this color schemes for the characters once the anime actually gets it. Well, actually, I'm not going to change. Nauseant's socks that he wore are actually now purple and red instead of green and orange. So yeah, again, color schemes are all over the place with Nakaba. But yeah. So we have stuff. We basically get to see a bunch of different like training montages. Like we have Anne like emphasizing like a model doing that like she has a finger in front of her lips kind of thing to emphasize her magic is based on talking. Donnie like some minimal like gravity. Percival and Lancelot sparring and now that's being exhausted and just the Trista platoon staring on the air. Gwen's notably not there, but that's mostly because she's not trained with the rest in the demon palace, which is what I'm going to assume is behind them. Which I do have to wonder when we are going to actually have Percival becoming like a groupie with everyone here, because like I don't want to say she's not in the groupie, but I mean, okay, we've had the first introduction arc, and then we had the previous arc, and now in this arc, and in these two arcs, she hasn't been like had almost zero interactions with anyone, like a little bit, but kind of just there. And even now, she has like no real interactions. But whatever, we'll get into that if it becomes annoying in the third arc. But regardless, we have now to what's actually happening in the story. As we have Io approaching Zeldris and Gilda, and she's finally makes her reappearance. As we have coming to Zeldris like, "Excuse me, my demon lord. It would seem that Swartz and his men are picking a fight with Prince Tristan," which makes me now wonder if she was or just there but off panel and she just kind of ran towards Zeldris, or if she was just expecting it to happen or something. But regardless, Io says to him, and I guess this finally confirms that that guy who looks like Belio wasn't actually Belio, but was actually Schwartz. Kind of. I feel like that Nakaba just had to like decide. All right, am I going to have these characters be the same, or am I going to have these characters be different? Because again, like you after the last chapter with a battle, you cannot just have them be unnamed and have some kind of significance. Like you have to decide now. And I guess he decided to give them different names. So wait, I guess we have to wait to see what the other six Knights of Black or whoever they're gonna be names are going to be. If they're gonna be revealed, but I feel like they probably will be revealed at the very least in the anime and the credits sequence. But guys, then we have Ayo telling Zeldris, "I can certainly understand their feelings on the matter, but Prince Tristan saved both me and those I hold dear." And the fact that he is the nephew of the Demon King, so that's also there as well. As we have Zeldris telling "You think I should intervene?" As she's Io's response with, "I certainly cannot overpower him, at least," referring to Schwartz. So we know that Io is weaker than Schwartz by a lot. As then we have Gilda looking at Zeldris, as Zeldris tells Io, "You have it wrong, Io. Me forcing them apart wouldn't solve anything. It would just leave both of them unconvinced and hateful." Well, I would not say it would leave Trisha hateful, but it would have made Schwartz hateful. As if you're looking at his eyes, like, but it was the same way. Actually, no. Then we have Zell just explain to you. "It was the same way between my brother and me. A problem like this can only be handled by those involved with it." As we cut to Belly over Swords versus Tristan's battle, as then we get a bit of sword clashing, as we have well, actually, I think it's more like Tristan blocked with what I think Esther. I want to say Esterosa, so and then went with Mael towards by towards Swords, but Swords is able to dodge it, and then he uses his other free hand to punch Tristan down to the ground, as then Tristan regains his footing. Swords goes for a strike, as then Tristan dodges that, but Swords goes for a kick, which ends, which actually surprises Tristan. He was able to get kicked by it and sends Tristan into the ground. As Tristan like Prince Tristan, as then we have the yet to be revealed names of the redesigned, well, obviously inspired from Six Sense of Black characters playing Graham Swords. As then we have Tristan standing back up. As then we have Bill Swords saying, "That was 6 ribs there, no." As they have Tristan just immediately healing himself with his goddess powers. As well as they're like, "Huh, goddess clan magic." As then we have Tristan using one spell as Fortunosa as Tristan uses Arc. As then we have him just being engulfed in it. As then we have the renamed, redesigned the Six of Black, with including the girl one, which is obvious. He barely appears since we got these guys. Being shocked and probably horrified as Jenna looks happy, but Schwartz is able to just break all of it, which I'm not certain if this is meant more like base or just God's Ice Tristan's arc is not powerful enough, or if this is more just that he was like have to hold it weak so Schwartz does not get actually killed by it. I mean, we have reactions by Tristan. He's surprised that Schwartz was able to break all of it, but I have to question how full power was that thing, because it become a problem if he killed what is, well, from what we've seen, Schwartz seems to be the right hand or the general, the highest ranking member of the demon army, so I don't feel like Tristan would go for a kill shot. But regardless, as we have Schwartz going towards Tristan as he strikes down at him, but Tristan is able to block with his Sosa Mayal. As they have Schwartz screaming, "Show me what you can really do!" As then we have Tristan going, "Well, don't regret it." Yeah, as then we have him going with his demon eye. As then we have him using all of his strikes and power to force him through. As he uses slash cannon to go kind of, that cool anime thing when you go past someone where it like strikes, where it looks like you would cut him in half, but yeah, did some kind of explosion instead of a strike. As then we have the Swords going roar as Tristan, as Swords is kind of approaching from that destruction, as just looking at him. As then we see Swords just like more demonite form where his skin color changes. I believe he's gonna be pale color, so it's probably be something like red or dark blue or something. I'm not sure. Well, I actually just want to say it's red. It's gonna be when it's actually animated. And then he has like a couple of horns as well from his chin. There are a couple of horns as well. And I think his marks are also a lot dark, a lot thicker than they were beforehand. As there are also two little signals there. I'm not certain this is something similar to Galan's magic, or if this is some kind of incomplete, or this is like a new Endura type of transformation. Since again, the form does look kind of similar, and I don't think it's an Endura, especially since I believe he goes back to normal. But I do feel like he might be. This is like a new thing. And then we have the sword screaming, "Is that all you can muster?" Well, consider the fact you entered this form, which I'm going to assume is also a strength boost. I kind of feel like it's not that impressive. But anyways, there we have Tristan being in the air, getting punched by Schwartz straight through it, and he falls down in. Schwartz punches Dix Tristan again down to the ground. As then, we go to the next page where we see those three from the Six of Black Hole being happy that Schwartz beat him, while John is in disbelief. Again, like if you previously you're saying, "Oh, Tristan is the best and the strongest," was somewhat able to be, you could at least deny it as, "Oh, Gawain Chion hasn't seen his Tristan being outmaneuvered, outplayed, and all that. But now he can't deny it because he saw with his very own eye. As then we have seeing the aftermath, we see Tristan beaten on the floor with a hole there. As Swatch is back to his normal state, putting the sword out, which again I don't think it's now. As for the power scalers out there, again it's pretty hard to tell if Chaos go on and go Malaska were really stronger than they were previously. Like again, were stronger. And remember, the only reason why Trista was able to beat Malaskula was because she was in a disorganized state. Like she was in a she had basically a panic attack doing it. And then that other Melagalan was just sent more to be the physical strength than Malaska's general spot magic. I mean the magic was used sometimes. It was very rare again. Also, that was used full Devil Mark, well, full Demonite Trista, which has a lot more power behind it. Like, I'm not saying that both Goddess and Demon Clans magic is not gonna be a very powerful form, but until Trish at least starts to know how to use Demon Mark a bit more controllably, it's gonna be, kind of more difficult. It's gonna go on these things where Tristan with his Goddess Mark is like this is decent, but and then when he uses both powers, he has like a balance. But when he goes full down mark, his power is higher. It's why now both eyes that demons is the strongest that we've seen Tristan. But in instead, when he didn't go with that, it was kind of like an ant. Like I don't think he went Devil Eye against I think he went still Twilight, and it shows that Twilight, like what Io says, she cannot do anything against Swords. So we have this situation here with Trish. So yeah, it makes sense that someone who she can't do anything, and it was similar situation with like double Gus and the Demon Clan eyes will not be able to make sense why he'll be overwhelmed. Although again, I feel like he was holding back with the arc and all that, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, they have the sword back. I was expecting to witness the power of Nephilium. But I seen you have no self-respect whatsoever, neither as a goddess nor a demon clan member. Which is kind of, I don't know, he uses goddess magic pretty regularly. I mean, that is, I would say, one of his, like, main arsenals. So I don't know if he has no self-respect as a goddess. I would say it's more that, I would say it's more that he just doesn't have good control over the goddess magic. It's like one of those, needs some proper teachers, like Elizabeth and Mael or whoever. Like, Trisha really should be having, like, proper teachers for goddess clans. Clan magic, because again, like, it would be the best thing, but, Elizabeth is busy with other duties and other stuff. Anyways, he just on the ground coughing. As they we have Swords being an arrogant bastard, like, no way this Wim's father could be the Ten Commandments. He must have used some underhanded trick. 50-50. I mean, actually, Saturday Sense does actually have relies more on the power level and all that type of stuff. So it actually is in so they can kind of use underhanded tricks. But I get what he's saying. But sorry, they are stronger than but they are stronger than Ten Commandments. I mean, I mean, to be fair, it's not like okay. I would say end of story. The Seven Nations definitely surpass uh, the Ten Commandments together. Like the two groups, like they're definitely stronger than Ten Commandments. But like when the Ten Commandments were at full of their power and the Seven Saints were altogether, like when they were that, I feel like you could debate who would win, especially since you assume they'll work together more and all that. But still, I feel like the Ten Commandments would have lost to Seven Saints. But I get what he's saying. Like he lost spectacularly against Tristan and all that. But yeah. Oh, Tristan spectacular lost to Schwarzer. My apologies, but yeah, I get what's meant there. Anyways, they have Tristan being pissed off as he steps to his always like, how dare you? Because again, he's insulting his father. Which, to be fair, Swords, you should know the power level, or at least have the idea how powerful Meliodas is. So, if anything, you could say, although to be fair, again, Tristan is a direct, descendant from Meliodas, so yeah. But still, Meliodas was, I believe, known and stated to have been the strongest next to the Demon King. So I don't exactly know why you'll be happy like this great thing done because of that. Like, yeah, maybe Trisha's just not as powerful as his father. I mean, again, like they're only 16 years old, and old Meliodas wasn't all that. But we guys, we did have Chian running towards Trisha, like, Prince Trishan! As they have Sword saying, see yourself out of the demon world then. Will God Sir Percival a week from now in your stat, as then we see him going with his group, as then we see the Hog, well, the guy looks like the Hog from the Six of the Back, the one that the tiger guy, and the girl all look a bit smug and happy because Sword just beat it then what Meliodas' son. And Sword's laughs like ha out loud because of being so happy. Anyways, then we cut to a different room as we have Chia. Well, we have Nazians and Isolde be like, oh, as Annie is in a room somewhere. She's like on a bed, like being Nazians Isolde. As they have Isolde telling Anne, woo, woo, you will find a way, Anne. As Anne's like, what was I doing? As I'm guessing Chion says, well, not Chion, as Nazian says, you passed out after your own magic crushed you. As you have Anne be like, oh no, that's so awful. It must have let up after I faint. It must have let up after I fainted, which I do, which makes sense. Like sometimes, like again, these types of abilities usually fade when someone passes out, so it makes sense to stop working. As they have nodded, saying, "And I'm sorry, it was because you joined me in training." As in, and tells him, "No, it's not your fault at all. In fact, thanks to that, I think I have a better understanding of my magic." As they have Anne sitting, as she tells him, "One, it crushes anyone who answers my questions with a lie." Well, not really. McDuff didn't lie to you; just didn't answer your specific question. I guess you would come anything that isn't a direct answer, but still, I feel like that wasn't the exact thing. But I'm sure she'll figure out eventually that if you just don't answer directly, clear. But yeah, then she says, two, the pressure returns normal once the truth is told, referring to Nazian's coming back after he explained what his how things are going with between him and Percival. Three, the magic has the same effect on me, the caster, so like Alon's ability. Four, telling more lies adds to the crushing force, so like what happened to her. And five, it vanishes once I pass out. So basically, again, like standard these types of abilities. So happy to see that she figured out these basics quickly instead of like wasting a entire week for it. And I'd be like, I think that's about all I know so far. And then we have, and then look at, it's also like, oh, but why are you here, Soldier? As they have Isolde telling, I was out on a walk when I heard you shouting, what a surprise. And then we have Nazian telling Isolde, she was the one who carried you here, Agalahunt. Yes, because I'm weak as all hell. As if and be like, well, thanks, Isolde, but wouldn't you prefer to be with by Prince Trishan's side? I'm pretty sure if you did pass out, Trishan would probably also help carry you or just help take you. So she was already on her own. But yeah, anyways, then we have Isolde telling Anne he said it was fine since he's only going to retrieve our seized weapons, and also. And then we have Isolde looking down, and she has a bit of a character change. And she's like, I've been doing nothing but thinking since then about the words Jade tried to leave me. Since I don't know if she heard Jade's words, but it's nice to see, or sad to see that Isolde is trying to figure out what she was meant to say. And when she realized that they were love and all that, she probably even feel worse about it. And then we have Nazian to be like, oh, I was like, Isolde? And then Isolde clutching that like whatever I want to say skirt, but that like jacket of shirt that she's wearing piece, and she's like, I could understand if it was for Prince Tristan, but why would he sacrifice himself for me? Which is funny since like he's the only one that doesn't view Tristan as highly you you and Cheon. But yeah, fine because again he doesn't even like doesn't even like Tristan that much. And then we have sort of talking as we see a panel with at Jade, and she's like, "And look at me, I couldn't even listen to and carry out what he tried to say. You didn't even know what he was trying to say. How do you know he even wanted anything to carry out?" But yeah, anyways, I have Nazian to be like, I think I know what it was. As so like, huh? As if Nazian's being happy to style her, but then and like cuts him off. Cuts him off. She starts to say, I'm sure that Jade, as in Nazian knows what the Anne is implying. As he looks at her, he sees that she's no, don't say it, dude. It just makes things worse. As in it's also like, nonsense. Do you know? As in, there's some tapping, as we see Donnie and Lancelot there. As I was like, you can. I heard you got flattered. As nonsense is there with his eyes still closed. As Lan's like, I told you to rest, not to get smashed into the ground. In her defense, it was for the sake of her magic. So technically, her resting was the result in beneficial things. As if not Anne's time to get back up. It's like, Donnie, Lancelot, as we have Nazians be like, is your training going well? As they have not Donnie trying to be all smart while he's like, oh yeah, I like gang busters. I mean, if you go on a slow pace, then sure, but yeah, it's not going well at all. As they have Abby all angry, she's like, yeah, right, you're lying, aren't ya? As they have Donnie be like, no, Donnie, I'm not like you at all. As in, Donnie gets hit by that magic, as in, we have him fall on the ground, again crushed by it. As and he's like, I see. 6, it doesn't activate if someone else asks the question. So she learned another thing that it's going to rely on her specifically being the one to talk with people. So yeah. Although I do want this is gonna call for a funny scene where Donnie's gonna be crushed by her Anne's magic, but he's gonna be lifting her with his levitation, and she'll be in the air. So you have one who's getting crushed, and the other who's going up in a mountain, going through a mountain or something. I mean, I feel that would make sense. I mean, he may be getting crushed, but I feel like he'll probably be able, if he like just turns his arm around to like move up in the air. Anyways, there we saw looking at Lancelot, as she's like, are your eyes bothering you, Sir Lancelot?" As then we have Lancelot being like, "No, I'm playing Macduff right now." As so I was like, funny voice, I guess. Lancelot doing this, trying to do Macduff's voice it sounds very funny, which I do have to wonder kind of how this is going to be done in the anime. As if it's all bit also like, what? Because she has no idea what he's referring to. As then Malzion's asking Lancelot, oh, but where's Percival? As then Lancelot just points his finger, as then we see Percival's beaten hands crawling on the ground. It's like, and as we have Isolde and I looking in shock at how beaten and bruised Percival is. But we actually go chibi mode with Percival here, so we don't actually get the full ramification of how beaten he is. It's just like we get it, like he's beaten brutally, but he's like also like this kind of comedic beaten, not even like a goofy beaten like how Nami usually beats people from One Piece, but just cheap beaten. As we have Percival saying, "Are you doing all right?" As if Anne, Anne sold it and not also going on chibi mode. As Anne has chibi fang mode. It's like, you the last or least alright of all of us, which is true. As if not we have Percival going a bit more normal form, but still goofy a bit. As he says, yeah, but I can't beat him at all in level 2 mode. As they are like, oh, that's how powerful that is, which again I kind of doubt it's just like Macduff's level of strength. As then we have Nonsense back. What kind of training are you doing? Probably the least effective training when it comes to just pure swordman skills. Which I just kind of makes me wonder if this is gonna realize that Percival is not that good in a sword, or he shouldn't really be a swordsman fighter. I mean, I don't think he. I mean, I can't remember exactly that time when they were all adults if we saw a person wear a sword, or if I think it might have just been obscure, so we will not get to exactly see Percival what kind of blade he has. But I think Percival might not even have a blade at the end. I mean, when you actually think about it, the Knight of Death should probably have a scythe. I mean, just logically speaking, a scythe makes more sense than a sword. Like, the God of Death, a scythe, that's kind of the standard. I mean, of all the full knights, that's like the one that's like the most standard. a fucking scythe. So why are we not using fucking scythes here? Again, it's kind of weird how no one actually uses the knife a scythe in 7th Sense yet. I mean, there might have been some, but I don't think it was anyone major. So yes, anyways, they have Percival looking to Nazi's probably happy. It's like, oh, feeling bad on Nazians? As they have Nazian standing aside, covering his eyes with his hands, like, I wasn't mad at you to start with. And as they have Anne walking to him with, it had like a sass walk, and she's like, you didn't have to kill yourself coming over, which I find might have actually happened. And the person will be like, oh, but when I heard you were knocked out, I was worried, alright? And then we have Anne going all blushy because she remembers that it almost crushed her. And she's like, oh, where is that? She's like, oh! And she's all that. She even has the heart in her eyes. That's just like, it's so funny when she has that. It's like, oh. As then we have Donnie be like, that's fine, okay? Somebody help me. And she's still getting crushed. As they have not person noticing that, is like, wait, what's going on? As they have Anne looking down at Donnie, is like, also give Sam to be like, admit you lied first. As Donnie's like, huh? As they have person, as they cut to not Lancelot finally adjusting the elf in the room is like, by the way, have any of you seen Gawain? She's been gone since we came to the demon world. As Anne looks at Lancelot, she tells him, oh, she's a free spirit. I'm sure she's out exploring the realm. Yes, explore the realm when there are fucking meteorites crashing down. Okay, people, I know Gawain should not teleport, she can fly, so the meteor is not a big of an issue, but come on, she's gotta spend a whole week running around from meteorites. Why would that be a good thing? And also another question, why was Gawain ever that much of an explorer? Like, I mean, I know that first time they met her, she went off on her own to sneak around Lyones, but that was more in search of beautiful women, so unless if her main priority whenever she comes to a different kingdom is find the most attractive woman there and fuck her, I do not really see why Gawain would be exploring the whole thing. I mean, even when she went to Bethmake, it wasn't like she was that curious about exploring. She was more curious about sleeping with you two, for God's sakes. But Anne and Isolde and everything else. But anyways, despite how OP they want to make Lancelot, he still has to have his dumbass moments. As Lancelot's just like, well, fine then, but as then we have Percival asking Lancelot, how long are you gonna be intimidating him? As Lancelot responds to, until you beat level 2. So get ready for Lancelot talking and acting like Chaos Knights for the entire arc. Oh, well, at least that's how I'm going to, for this week. But anyways, then we get to the final panel of the chapter. We see just some kind of pattern going on. It's just supposed to be a goofy like kind of transition. As we have the narrator saying, Day 1 of the Demon World training comes to an end. 6 days until they set off for the behemoth. Yeah. Which again does make me wonder if the Chaos Knights are going to wait the entire 6 days. I mean, I didn't see if they had any supplies on them. I'm assuming they probably have them just hidden on some kind of magic item, but you know, if you're gonna have to spend a whole week or who knows how long when it's a meteor shower, you have an easy way to transport. You have a prisoner, even with all the dragon's coffin piece, and how one of your armor is destroyed. So unless if you guys have a way to repair Rosebank's armor, which you think would be top priority, you know, you'd think you would just kind of go away, go away in a prison cell, bring more people, maybe switch a few members around, you know. Maybe not spend a whole week sitting under a fucking meteorite. But regardless, I'm assuming they're just gonna stay, and then when the group goes to the behemoth, assuming they even try to get someone to find Gawain before they go there, they are going to be just training now. Which again, I feel kind of stupid. This just feels kind of stupid that they're just kind of like, yeah, let's not go and explore the demon world while there's like literal meteorites coming down. And I don't even know the demons even knows how she looks like, so there's not even an ally there. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the chapter. So the next chapter, I feel like it's gonna be just another training chapter. Like I kind of don't. I'm kind of assuming we're gonna go more into Isolde meeting up with Tristan and Gion and going through this reaction kind of talk. Again, I feel like there are probably gonna be a few more chapters for the training. Maybe not like 2 chapters for a single day, but like we're gonna have like they next we're gonna cut to what Chia not Tristan and Isolde. Then we're gonna cut to like day 2 training, day 3 training. And then we're gonna have like maybe a little bit more serious with Giselle just showing up and actually getting some lections and maybe some actual teaching. Since like again, thinking logically, Zelda should really be training Percival and Tristan right now because one, the demon mark for Tristan, and actual swordsmanship skills for Percival. Since I'm sorry, Lancelot, but I know you're supposed to be cool in this training is definitely going to happen at the end because of the way you were written so far, but maybe some actual swordsmanship skills being taught to Lancelot, so he, actually knows what he's supposed to be doing with swords, not just like, just faster strikes, faster blows, and all that. I mean, just saying, it would kind of be a bit more useful. But yeah, and that's what I'm going to assume is going to be in the next couple of chapters. We're going to see how that is gonna go. Who knows? Maybe we're gonna cut to Chaos Knights also talking and doing stuff, but we have to wait and see on that front. But yeah, anyways, I hope you like this chapter reaction. I hope you leave your thoughts on this chapter in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to this channel for more videos in the future. And that's it. I cannot wait to see all of you mortals next time. Goodbye.